Yes. Hi, BB. Hi back. We'll give you a high back. Stargazer says, what are the percentage of properties with no HOA? Let's kind of stick it to single family homes as an example of that. Just really, really quick, a real fast answer. Dylan, what's the quick percentage, roughly speaking, of single family homes with no HOA? You're muted.
I don't know the exact percentage, but I would speculate probably 80% of homes.
80% of homes do not have an HOA. Heidi, what's your the vast majority don't? Heidi, what's your figure on Maui?
I mean, I don't know a percentage for sure, but there's lots of areas with no HOA.
Lots of areas, so lots of choices. In other words, if you want to avoid HOA fees on a single family home, it's doable. Scott, how about Oahu?
I'd say somewhere between 70 and 90% don't.
So Stargazer, HOA, and I know that Jim asked this a lot about HOA. It must be a bigger issue on the mainland than it is here, but it's really not an issue. I think. What's that, Dylan?
But I also wouldn't look at it as a negative thing. There are many communities that have a very good HOA where it costs $300 a year, and they keep the community nice, right? They aren't broken down cars in people's yards, and the houses are maintained, and the yards aren't overgrown. So it helps your property value. Sometimes it's in your best interest to have a reasonable HOA. I mean, there's also HOAs that are $1,000 a month, but there's really very few of those. The small ones are more common.
Actually, I was going to ask. Actually, we got a few minutes left. Let's kind of end it on this topic. I was actually doing some math just the other day, and I said, you know what? I got to ask Scott about this. So here's a question for me related to HOA fees. And so you're in a single family home. You're going to be moving out because you're downsizing because the kids have moved out, etc. You're not paying quote HOA fees. But we did a bunch of numbers, and we're spending a lot of money on maintenance and maintenance, property tax, water, etc., etc. Scott, what's the on Oahu? Is there some sort of a rule of thumb of what the equivalent is on a let's say a condo maintenance fee? Because you look at a condo maintenance fee and you see some condo maintenance fees at $700 a month, and like, oh my God, that's so expensive. But yet you're operating a home, a typical home on Oahu, whatever, in a let's say East Oahu area. Do you have a sense of a rule of thumb of kind of what you're really paying for anyway in quote maintenance fees for a house, and how that compares? How would that compare to the maintenance fees that you pay for a condo? Do you have any sense of that?
Not really, because it's different. Usually if you're in a homeowners association with a single family home, they're limited to front yard landscaping, common element utilities, electricity, meaning your street lights, or maybe it's a private roadway or something that they're responsible for maintaining. So you're still maintaining exterior paint, roof, windows on your home. You're still doing a lot of that. Huilani in down in Eva Beach is one example of a single family home structure where the association takes care of the exterior paint, roof, insurance, master policy insurance, the roads, the landscaping, and that maintenance fee and it's gated too. That maintenance fee is almost $800 a month for those. And people get sticker shock, but then you got to look down. Okay, what would it take for me to maintain this over the years? Right. And
that's my point, right? I'm trying to figure that out, right? It's like, well, okay, wait a minute. I mean, how much are we kind of really spending anyway on maintenance for our home, and that we don't really kind of realize, but it's quote unquote a maintenance fee. The roof's got to be replaced every 20 years or whatever. That's a big expense. And how much does that figure out on a monthly basis and all that kind of stuff? So we're all trying to figure that out. Yeah.